The name Silent Running actually comes from submarine warfare, where a submarine that wanted to play like it was sunk would throw a bunch of debris out the port and make the people on the surface think that it had sunk and there was an oil slick.
Silent Running is a 1972 American environmental-themed science fiction film. It's the directorial debut of Douglas Trumbull and stars Bruce Dern, Cliff Potts, Ron Rifkin, and Jesse Bint.
You know, I had a big responsibility to demonstrate, well, I can write, I can direct, I can produce, etc. Working with Mike Gruskoff, and then Bruce Dern, Gruskoff and I both selected Bruce. We really liked him. We thought he was great.
And before we go any further, here's another spoiler alert. That's right. If you haven't seen this movie, you have been warned. Spoilers ahead. In the future, all forests on Earth have become extinct from careless environmental exploitation. As many specimens as possible have been preserved in a series of enormous greenhouse-like geodesic domes, which are attached to large cargo spaceships forming part of a fleet of 8 American Airlines space freighters stationed outside the orbit of Saturn. Freeman Lowell, played by Bruce Dern, one of the 4 crewmen, is the resident botanist and ecologist on one of these ships, the Valley Forge. He carefully maintains a variety of plants for the eventual return to Earth and the reforestation of the planet. He spends most of his time in the domes, cultivating the crops and attending to the animal life. The crew of each ship receives orders to jettison and destroy their domes and return the freighter to commercial service. After 4 of the 6 Valley Forge domes are jettisoned and destroyed with nuclear charges, Lowell rebels and opts to save his ship's plants and animals. He kills Wolf, one of the crewmen, who arrives to plant explosives in his favorite dome.
And you establish there's a little tension between Bruce Dern and the other crew members because he's kind of an oddball.
I don't think that I'll ever be able to excuse what it is that I did, but I had to do it.
And his right leg is seriously injured in the process. He then jettisons and triggers the destruction of the other remaining dome to trap and kill the remaining 2 crewmen. Now, this film is not the action-packed sci-fi adventure that Star Wars is. In fact, it's a very bleak look at what could possibly be our own future. It's very slow-moving, in the vein of Star Trek the Motion Picture. But it is a film that definitely makes you think about the human condition. What we are capable of doing when our back is against the wall and we're pressured to do when we feel is wrong. Philosophical questions that there are no easy answers to. Lowell does not want to destroy his biodome and winds up killing the other humans who are determined to obey their orders and rid the universe of the only plant life known to man. In a move that would seemingly make this character unsympathetic, we realize the philosophy which is present in Star Trek.
That the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, of the one.
Lowell, as played by Bruce Dern, realizes that the future of mankind is dependent on plant life. What man is forced to eat and survive on is inadequate if all plant life is destroyed. Bruce Dern does an excellent job here in making Lowell relatable, and we understand why he does the things that he does.
Huey, I thought I told you to stay in the forest.
Structurally, as though it was like one man alone in the tundra of the Antarctica with 3 sled dogs.
Right.
And he's going to anthropomorphize them in order to keep himself from going nuts.
I understand. You can manage you without it.
This was the directorial debut of special effects wizard Douglas Trumbull, who was involved with creating effects for 2001: A Space Odyssey, whose director, Stanley Kubrick, had wanted that film's Stargate sequence to be about Saturn. However, technical difficulties prevented completion of this sequence special effects within the limited time available. The Saturn idea was scrapped, and Kubrick substituted Jupiter instead. Trumbull developed this sequence after production, and it was recreated for Saturn in Silent Running. After Lowell kills the only human crew members, he's forced to bond with the robots, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
I've taught you everything that I know about taking care of the forest here. And that's all that you have to do from now on. I just can't do it anymore. things just haven't worked out for me.
The 3 drone robots were actually operated by 4 multiple amputee actors: Mark Persons, Steve Brown, Cheryl Sparks, and Larry Weisenhunt. To keep costs down, Trumbull hired college students for model making and other such special effects work. One of them, John Dykstra, went on to a distinguished special effects career of his own. As a first-time director, Douglas Trumbull says that he learned how to be a director while working on this film, as he had no training or experience in the job. And this, of course, gives new meaning to the term on-the-job training. The decommissioned Essex-class aircraft carrier Valley Forge, a veteran of Korean and Vietnam Wars, served as the interior of the space freighter Valley Forge. The flight control area and hangar deck of the carrier were modified and painted to represent the space freighter in the film. The carrier was scrapped after filming was complete. Several shots of the Valley Forge and its sister ships were later reused in the television series Battlestar Galactica as agricultural ships in the refugee fleet. After the success of Easy Rider, Universal Studios hit upon the idea to let young filmmakers make semi-independent films for low budgets in hope of generating similar profits. The idea was to make 5 movies for low budgets, about $1 million or less, not interfere in the filmmaking process, and give the director's final cut. These movies were this movie, The Hired Hand, The Last Movie, and Taking Off. Also, American Graffiti, which of course was pioneered by Star Wars veteran George Lucas. According to director Douglas Trumbull, the tears Bruce Dern is crying while talking to his crewmates about the little girl who would never know the simple wonder of the leaf in her hand were real. As a method actor, Dern drew upon personal experiences for his motivation. In this particular case, the accidental death of his 2-year-old daughter, just a few years before. Douglas Trumbull gave his blessing when George Lucas, who had actually approached Trumbull about working on Star Wars, mentioned his desire to create a robot similar to the drones for his film, which became R2-D2. When 20th Century Fox sued Universal in 1978, claiming Battlestar Galactica was a rip-off of Star Wars, Universal retaliated by countersuing Fox, claiming Star Wars Episode 4 was a rip-off of Silent Running. Oh, the tangled webs we weave, the legal bantering back and forth, it just kind of ruins the fun of all this, doesn't it? But anyway, Bruce Dern wasn't the first actor considered for this role. In fact, he took the part after 17 others turned down the role. Now, this film was released as a double feature with the Andromeda Strain. Mystery Science Theater's Joel Hodgson and Red Dwarf creators Rob Grant with Douglas Naylor say they got the idea for their shows from this film. Footage of the 3 ships drifting through space and the jettisoning of the dome appears in the story Different Ones from Rod Serling's Night Gallery TV series in an unusual twist. The TV episode aired December 29, 1971, months before the movie's release date of March 10th, 1972. Scenes in the forest environments were supposed to be shot in the Mitchell Park domes in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but the movie's production budget forced these scenes to be filmed in an aircraft hangar in Van Nuys, California. During the poker game scene, Lowell asks his crewmates, "What about the forests?" A sample of this sentence is the core element of the track Photosynthesis, World of Sleepers 2006, by Swedish electronic music duo Carbon-Based Lifeforms. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 71% based on reviews from 34 critics. The critical consensus states, it doesn't fulfill the potential of its ambitious themes, but Silent Running stands as a decidedly unique type of science fiction journey, marked by intimate character work and a melancholy mood. Roger Ebert awarded the film his highest rating of 4 stars and praised Dern as a very good, subtle actor. Gene Siskel, on the other hand, gave the film 2 stars out of 4 and compared it unfavorably to 2001: A Space Odyssey, saying that it had the same effects but none of the wit or intelligence. And that was our show for today. What do you think? Are you a Bruce Dern fan? Did you enjoy Silent Running, or was it too slow for you? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I'd be honored if you subscribe to my channel, ring the bell to stay informed, and check out my Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise, also in the comments section. And until next time, this is Kevin Given saying, live long and prosper, may the Force be with you, and keep reaching for the stars.